So, like, is anyone gonna actually explain what Endura was, and is, and will be? No? Thank you to our final patrons, Strawbones, Red4765, and Midnight Gemlord. Thank you to our final patrons, Strawbones, Red4765, and Midnight Gemlord. Now, before we come to this discussion on Endura and the mystical, magical, wonderful form that it is, please reveal your own thoughts on Endura in the comments down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit that little notification so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below. In support for as low as cut them $1 a month. These links, exclusive videos, early content, and more. Now, let's hop into the fact that you can also become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, let's hop into the discussion. What's up, guys? Ugly Pencil here, and yeah, the Endura are just a concept that happened, didn't work, and then proceed to pretty much never get touched on again until they get summoned, and then proceed to fail again and literally act as a flying Uber to the Demon King. Like, that's it. Endura accomplishes literally nothing, yet it is simultaneously one of the most powerful things we've seen that also gets even less explanation than a lot of other power-ups that get barely any explanation. Like, it just spawns. We get introduced to the concept of Endura in the King and Diane flashback when they're in Droll and Gloxinia's bodies, and Meliodas says that, oh, well, yeah, we're just gonna have to watch as they destroy everything, even though realistically he should have just stopped them. Like, if he's whatever, that's another story for another time. Forget the scaling behind Endura, even though that is kind of what I was talking about. Regardless, the form is super powerful, but not only did it just happen and then proceed to never happen again, it also kind of did nothing. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like, multiple things behind Endura. One, who is the dark deity they're sacrificing their hearts to? Like, I don't know. It never gets, once again, like a lot of things in Seven Deadly Sins, it never gets explained. Like, we know Endura is what they become. Baruha was an Endura that was previously a member of the Ten Commandments. The Chimera Endura and Endura Favor was also a previous member of the Ten Commandments. Endura, Monspeed, and Derriere are also Ten Commandments, but like, what happened when they ripped out? Like, who are they sacrificing it to? Like, they say, I offer up these 6 heart organs as a contract to release the true natures within our souls. One, true natures? So, like, that's just what y'all are supposed to look like? So are all demons just naturally suppressed? Or is it just, like, ironically enough, now that I think about it, we don't see any, like, super crazy, powerful, non-humanoid demons. Like, in terms of the beings that could go Endura, they're all humanoid. Like, even Baruha in his original form that was made and shown in the Seven Deadly Sins mobile game, sure, he is a foxman, but he's still mostly humanoid. So, I guess, is it just like a byproduct? Is that why lower level creatures can't reach it? Because they're already bearing their true natures? I don't know. But, like, what is this contract they're making? For the longest time, I think it was just based off of mistranslation, I thought they were sacrificing their souls to Endura to become Endura. So, for the longest time, I was like, oh, are they just, like, making a contract with the Demon King? But if so, I don't know. Was the Demon King's name Endura? Like, so, I need to line up my questions in appropriate order. Number one, who's the contract with? Is it just with themselves? Like, they literally say, free the true natures within our souls. So are they, like, having a whole bargain with themselves? Like, if we were to break it down, is there, like, a mirror version of Monspeed and Derriere that are just vibing and, like, dapping each other up when they make this contract? And, like, why do you need to sacrifice 6 hearts for it? Like, I get it. It's a powerful transformation and all that. But, like, why 6? Like, you can sacrifice 2? 1? 3? 4? 5? Like, you got 7. Do you really have to take out 6 of them? Does the number of hearts mean anything? Like, if you take out less hearts, will you not get more Endura? That more juicy Endura juice? And number 2, like, what's with the transformation process? Because seemingly, Monspeed and Derriere, when they make that contract, aren't in their completed Endura states. Like, when Elizabeth starts, let there be light, in them, she awakens further levels of Endura. They begin to transform further. The darkness within them is still ever growing. So, like, do Enduras mutate? Do they take a while to reach their full power? I just don't know. Like, there's just never explained. Number 3. Who first did this? Like, how? Because the Endura are beasts that roam the demon world. This is apparently just a thing that they do. They just be vibing. They be walking around. For some reason in Cursed by Light, they managed to capture what appears to be Baruha, but Baruha... Once again, it's the whole idea of the first Seven Deadly Sins movie, as beautifully animated as it was, isn't canon, because it just flat out doesn't fit anywhere. But information from the movie is canon. So I guess Baruha could be captured, but Endura just roam the demon world. Like, what poor demons did the Demon King be like, hey, rip out your 7 hearts real quick. Just test this out for me. Like, who discovered this? Was it just a random dude being like, due to my ability to perceive the souls, due to me being one of the demon clan, I believe there is a true nature within us. And I think if we sacrifice 6 of our 7... Like, it's so oddly specific that I want to know who did it first. Because I don't think it's the Demon King, right? Because, like, I still am very iffy about counting the Demon King and Supreme Deity as actual demons and goddesses, because they created them. Like, would you... If you... See, this is a weird thing to say. How do I put this? Would you consider yourself one of your creations? Like, this video right here. It's a piece of me. As in, it's my voice. It's some of my effort. It is some of my editing. It is some of... that, but it's not everything. There are other videos on the channel. There's a rest of me that is behind all of this. So I wouldn't consider myself this video because I created it. Just like I don't consider the Supreme Deity and the Demon King demons and goddesses just because they created them doesn't mean they are one of them. And because of that, I don't think it was the Demon King who first went Endura, though he has technically all the qualifications. We don't know. So that's another thing. Without knowing their biology, how many hearts does the Demon King have? Does he have 7 too? No idea. Bad boy got erased way too quickly before we could ask any of those questions. So, not too sure about that part. But if it wasn't the Demon King, then who was it? Did he make Endura first? Because we know he created the demon world and he created demons. But the thing is, Endura aren't even classified as demons. They're classified as demonic world beasts. As in, like, they coexist with demons, but they don't count as demons anymore. So, like, were they made first, and then demons realized they could do this? And what's with the 50,000 limit? Like, I thought maybe, hypothetically, it would have to do with a heart count. But demons weaker than 50,000, like Melascula and Gallon, do also appear to have 7 hearts, because they are still high-level demons. So it's not a heart count thing. What is it specifically about that, like, limiter? Like, if you're at 49,999, sorry, fella, you're just that 1 point off from being able to go Endura. Shucks. You're gonna have to die in this battle when you could just go Endura and destroy everything. Speaking of destroying everything, why do they do that? Like, I get it. The Demon Clan is a clan that, even in my explained video that I wrote, I believe they are specifically optimized for battle. Like, to a degree higher than any other species. Just because of, like, their own unique magics, which all appear to be some form of destructive. The soul manipulation thing is something that is inherently destructive. Just eating... or getting eaten by a demon, soul-wise, literally wipes you from the reincarnation cycle. It erases you entirely, like you cannot even reincarnate from that. On top of the fact that darkness is just a specifically weapon-based system. Like, it's so malleable into weapons and shields and stuff like that. It doesn't have any erasure properties as far as we know. It's literally just meant for battle. Like, the demons are super optimized for that. So I get why they have transformations like Demon Marks, and in Meliodas' case, Assault Mode, whatever. But, like, Endura? Why do they just go un poco loca? I don't know. And this to the point where they just lose all sense of self. And, like, how is that useful? To a degree. Like, the original story behind the Ten Commandments is, like, the Demon King made them to rule over and help him guard the demon. But, like, why would you make it that way? Like, dude, you built these guys. Like, this is a blueprint you made. Why would you ever build them with the ability to just go crazy and annihilate portions of the world? In fact, how does this demon world still exist properly? If Endura are to be believed by their first appearance, they would literally just be going around and wiping out the planet. And if their power is to be believed, which is the next point we're going to hop into, they should literally be like nigh on unstoppable, unless a Meliodas, I guess, maybe Zeldris. It really depends on how you want to scale Zeldris. And the Demon King themselves show up. Like, they should just be popping around blasting open creation casually. because these things are like crazy strong for how little they accomplish. Like Ludishell, as much as I like to clown on the man, he's no joke, especially before the end of series. Like pre-DK Mel and post-Purgatory Bond, Ludishell's a beast. True body Ludishell, stronger than Margaret body, stronger than Astro body. Like bro was a bit different. And he went from being different to literally being bullied by these two. The Archangels themselves in general aren't necessarily the most impressive group on a whole, but Ludishell and Mael, they're up there. They're up there. And the Endura put them down there. And it just happens. Like the massive boost in power, I guess it's from the darkness. Like, it goes into the question of, is it just a quantity thing? Because if it's just the demons releasing more and more darkness from within their hearts, and as we've seen with Tristan in the more recent series, darkness can just make you un poco loco. It can corrupt you a little bit, if we're being completely honest. Then I guess that's why. But why is this the path? Like, why the path to power includes sacrificing your organs, with the only ones, by the way, which you just can't regrow. Apparently you can regrow everything else unless you get hit by, like, Sariel's Grace, because that's got a blessing behind it. You ain't regenerating from that one. But, like, unless you get hit by that, you can regrow every other organ, but sacrificing 6 of the only non-regrowable organs suddenly takes you from, like, low and relative to the Archangels to literally body slamming them through mountains. Like, you gotta realize, Derriere blitz Ludishell, whose whole thing is blitzing you. Huh? Like, the level of power is crazy. It is bonkers. It is wild. And once again, why does releasing the true nature of one's soul do that? Because it can? like that's the only thing. Once again, this feels very similar to Assault Mode, where Nakubo was like, I need to make the 10 Commandments seem relative and impressive in the face of the Archangels. However, Zeldris isn't one yet canonically, and I don't want to make the other commandments too strong, because I already got through a decent chunk of them and showed their strength. What can I do to make them look intimidating next to the Archangels? Oh, I know. I'll give them this super strong form, and then immediately knock them out. Like this is even worse than Assault Mode in terms of, like, it's really, really cool. It is very, very powerful. It does nothing. Like, ever. Like, at least Assault Mode was the form that Meliodas used against the Demon King to finally get him up out of the Britannic Demon King body, and also what he used to beat Zeldris and Estarossa to get them to work for him. And that led to the whole entire Mael arc, and, like, a whole bunch of ramifications after that. So Assault Mode, as much as I clowned on it, in terms of, like, how little it does in an actual fight, it accomplished some things. It was there. It contributed. But, like, no Endura does anything. Like, they're either constantly getting reverted, couple shot, or one shot. Dahlia in Cursed by Light takes one look at the cannon Baruha, throws a spear through him. Gone. The Chimera Indura, the Endura of Favor, gets jumped by the 7 Deadly Sins. Gone. Enduramon Speet and Derriere, they throw some hands. They prove they are really powerful. Gone. Because they got instantly reverted by Elizabeth. Chop, chop. No time to waste. We gotta get them up out of here just as quickly as they were introduced. Like, that's the thing. It's like Nakuba will just do this sometimes, or he will introduce something that could be really, really cool. And it will be really, really cool, but it will do really, really nothing. Like, at all. There are other examples of this too, which we'll be getting into in other videos. But Endura is one of the, like, most egregious ones, because in the grand scheme of the narrative, it literally did nothing. Like, showed up and lost every single time. I'm trying to think. At least every other power-up not only contributed to a battle, but actually won. At least one. Like, even Droll's Dance helped in some context. I can give it that. As much as I clown on Droll's Dance, I think it's a joke ability. Pretty much. Just, Giants got done dirty. Endura got done even dirtier. We have not seen a single viable Endura, despite them literally being arguably, like, running the mathematics, running the calcs, based on their feats against, like, true body characters and showing relativity to, like, prime Elizabeth, at least together. It's a little bit weird. And needing, like, end of series sins to take them on. Like, Endura are powerful. Like, easily top 20, hypothetically top 15 level characters in terms of just raw stats. But this accomplished nothing. But of course, the one thing I do like about Endura is that it leaves the door open. Because, hypothetically, I was wondering what could really make Meliodas' death feel worth it, right? Like, what's the thing? As much as I love Assault Mode, it is, once again, my favorite transformation of Meliodas'. I feel like that's not enough. If Meliodas is really going to get, after getting rolled up in the juiciest pack of the century, what could really make it like, oh yeah, this is it. This is like top tier, end of the line, next level stuff. I think Endura is going to be the answer. If Nagaba remembers to do it. Because remember, all 7 of his starts were restored and he never died again. So, with that being the case, he still has wholehearted access to it. So if someone's going to put Meliodas in a pack, I'd love to see Endura Meliodas before he goes. Same thing with Zeldris. I'd love to see an Endura Zeldris. These characters do have full-on access to that ability. Do I think we'll ever get a proper explanation for it? No. I think it's too late. Like a lot of concepts that were just directly introduced into 7 Deadly Sins, I don't think we're going to get any further explanations on it. I think Four Knights is taking the series in a pretty new direction in terms of what it plans to do with certain characters. And once again, in comparison to the main bad guys for the majority of the series and our main character being, or at least one of our main characters, being of the Demon Clan, all we got is a half-demon that doesn't even like his powers, as 1/4 of our main cast, which is really, ironically enough at this point, probably about 1/11. So, I don't think we're going to get much explanation on Endura, but I would love to see it. Endura is, admittedly, still one of the coolest things that appears in the entire series, in terms of its transformation, its iconography, where it shows up, how it shows up, what it does. It is one of the most powerful transformations of the series. If, like, debatably, it's the second most powerful transformation, only behind, like, true magic. And maybe absorb, if you want to consider transforming into the Demon King, when Mel and Zell absorb the 10 Commandments, then that's the only other, like, sheer power-up transformation that's greater than Endura, alongside true magic. That's how crazy the ability is, which is why I do want to see more of it. I think that's why it's kind of kept its weight. It's swung its weight around in the fandom, despite not doing anything. Despite completely failing as a transformation and or just a state of being on multiple occasions, in multiple fashions, in multiple ways, it left such a good first impression that it leaves us wanting to see more. We want to see more. We want to get a deeper explanation of a deeper understanding. We want to know all about Endura. And I think that's cool. And I think Nakaba, as much and as many problems as I have with him, man, can he design some stuff, and man, can he intrigue me. However, that's what I think. Please tell me what you guys think about Endura in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And hit the little notification bell so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do a Patreon down below. We can support for as low as $1 a month to make sure you get exclusive content, early videos, and more. You can also become members of the channel to get the same perks and more. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Back on the Pencil, writing off.